Today we conclude the investigation of the jail escape in the Indian River County Sheriff's Office that occurred on October 24th. After an extensive review of policies, procedures, as well as an internal investigation that ended last week for a total time frame of approximately 90 days, we're satisfied and comfortable that this incident is now closed. As many of you know, just a quick roundup. After Rondell Reed was captured and returned, he was transported to Department of Corrections on December the 20th. Leviticus Taylor is still in solitary confinement in our Indian River County Jail Maximum Custody Unit. His next court appearance is February the 14th. Additionally, one of the accomplices, Miss Sadie Welker, is still in our custody awaiting her trial. Before you have an opportunity to review some of the changes that have taken place in the last 90 days at the Indian River County Jail, which include enhanced inmate searches, pat-downs, searches and extractions of cells, a more thorough inspection of contraband and or nuisance contraband that the inmates may accumulate. We determined through our investigation that, to be quite frank with you, we had too much contraband in the nuisance contraband in the facility. In other words, cups and apples and or oranges and the like. Our inmate management system has been increased to where we now have extensive and volumes of documents on each and every inmate that's in our custody. In fact, we have a procedure where every 45 days if that inmate is still in our custody, additional information is retrieved about that person to include any physical changes or any drastic weight changes, both gained or lost. Additionally, we've enhanced our security system at the Indian River County Jail from 192 video cameras to 256 video cameras that cover virtually every angle within the jail. As you know, that was in progress prior to the escape. In fact, on August 23rd, the purchase order was made some 2 months before the escape, and during and in the interim, those cameras have been installed. Additionally, every member of the Indian River County Corrections Facility has been given additional training with respect to inmate pat-downs, searching of cells, and the like. And finally, the internal affairs classification of the findings revealed that although our deputies from time to time do routine things throughout their tour of duty within their 8-hour shift, we determined in the internal investigation revealed that in fact 2 of our deputies were in fact in violation of a general order, inattentive to dutiness, which is a reflection of the night of October 24th of the events that occurred, to include doing the cell checks, however, not doing them as thoroughly as possible. As you know, the deputies that were assigned to that block, we feel were deceived by Leviticus Taylor as well as Rondell Reed and makeshift dummies, if you will, in their cells. However, the deputies failed to thoroughly search and what we call see the skin. That did not occur. This was not an intentional act. This was more of a routine inspection of the cell that unfortunately was not discovered for some time later. Both of those deputies, Deputy Richard McGriff as well as Deputy Leo Hernandez, have been suspended for 40 hours, 1 work week without pay. That is a Group 1 violation. That is the maximum that they could have received for their punishment. The investigation revealed there was 0 intent on these deputies. It was simply a situation where they became complacent. In this business, we don't have time to be complacent, and both of those deputies understand that, and we will be moving forward with those suspensions. Any direct questions?
Are they suspended now, or?
That was dispensed last Monday. Last Monday is when the internal affairs investigation was completed, which is typical in a situation of 90 days from the time of the
So
escape.
they weren't at work last week?
They were. That was when I administered the discipline, and it's up for them and their structured staff to decide on what hours or when is best for them to be suspended.
Are you confident that the changes you've made would have prevented this escape?
I think when you look at an overall review of some of the things that were not taking place but have been, for example, the extensive cell searches that occur on every shift, as in the past, minimum cell searches were being done that were within policy, within guidelines. We've enhanced that. I do feel that an additional amount of nuisance contraband that has been eliminated from the jail contributed to some of their efforts.
Do we know, have you determined how they got the tools or whatever they needed was necessary to?
The question was, do we believe where the hacksaw blade come from? We believe that hacksaw blade had been on campus for some time. We believe that it was introduced to the facility by an inmate in a trustee status. We believe that hacksaw blade was being stored in the law library, which, as you know, the law library has been eliminated and replaced with an electronic kiosk. In other words, there are no longer law books within our law library, and we think that that clearly deletes any opportunity to hide or store contraband.
Is that inmate, the trustee, going to be charged in connection with the escape?
Not at this time. Additionally, we have between 200 and 225 inmates that qualify for indigent packages. Within an indigent package are things that cost taxpayers dollars. We've reevaluated that. We've virtually gone to the bare bones on what an inmate is allowed to have. And I think that also will allow us to better police the facility as well as reduce the amount of contraband.
What can you say to the public that, sort of experienced this?
I can say to the public that on the morning of October 24th, the culture at the Indian River County Jail has changed. I'll also tell you that within short order, we had 14 associated agencies, federal, state, and local law enforcement that assisted us in extremely short order. I will tell you that under these circumstances, this is an example of the teamwork coming together and being able to, in a relatively short amount of time, capture these individuals that we felt were harmful to the public. And it is our mission, our goal, to continue to improve the operation of the Indian River County Sheriff's Office. In your packet, you will see some extensive things that have occurred, to include the hardening of 48 doors that we think are crucial.
Sheriff, some may be surprised that nobody's losing their job over this.
Yes, sir. You when you look at the policy violation in context, and if you have an example of you were to, let's say, paint this wall, and you were given the responsibility of painting that wall, both you and I, and let's say you painted it and accomplished what the policy said. You, in fact, painted the wall. But I, on the other hand, came by and taped it off and painted it and trimmed it in. We both painted the wall, however, I paid a little more attention to detail. Now, I will tell you that under the guidelines that are currently our standards, on the night or the early morning hours of October 24th, the internal investigation was able to sustain a Group 1 violation. The maximum for a Group 1 violation is a 40-hour suspension. Again, we have to remember that you have to look at everything distinctively. I will tell you that Deputy McGriff has been with the agency for 5 years. Deputy Hernandez has been with the agency for 4 years. Both deputies have zero discipline in their file, and we feel very comfortable that that there obviously was no intent. This was a situation in corrections where oftentimes you do routine tasks day in and day out. This is a midnight shift where they enter a cell, and they're responsible for a head count every hour. And our investigation revealed that although they entered the cell, they did not deceive anyone. They did not falsify any paperwork whatsoever. They actually did their job, went inside. However, it was not as thorough as we would expect a professional. Therefore, there are consequences to the actions. I spoke extensively with both of these deputies, and both of these deputies obviously feel terrible about the situation, and they understand that the consequences of their actions.
What did they say to you? When they expressed remorse?
Absolutely, absolutely. They felt they'd been duped or tricked, and I tactfully explained that in this business, that's how folks get hurt, and we're not in a position to have anyone hurt.
Will they continue doing what they're doing, being in with the inmates, or are they being reassigned?
They are not being reassigned. Again, to follow up, everyone in that division has received extensive training, and that will continue to be trained. That the circumstances surrounding the care, custody, control of an inmate varies. One day they may be assigned to that post, one day they may not be assigned to that post. It's also important to know that the variety of inmates that we have, in fact, the numbers are in your report. It's a large variety of very dangerous criminal element that are housed at the Indian River County Jail.
Is the perimeter of the jail more secure today than it was then?
It is. In fact, there's a few things that have occurred that are not in your report for security purposes. However, we will continue our pursuit of better and more efficient security measures. As an example, in the upcoming budget year, we will be making some capital requests for some significant improvement. It also must be reminded that the county jail, as well as this administration building, is the responsibility of the Board of County Commissioners. And we will be approaching them to harden even further our county jail.
You had mentioned that eliminating the nuisance contraband, like apples and oranges.
Yes.
Is there some bartering to get displayed that may have involved?
You know, in inmate management is a unique system in that inmates are entitled to purchase commissary. Oftentimes, some type of bartering and trading does occur. Our responsibility is to police the cells in a more remarkable fashion, and that's what our individuals have done and have done since the escape. I'm very confident in the quality of folks that we have, and I'm very confident that that these episodes are limited.
Do you believe this was a black eye for the sheriff's office, though?
I do. Anytime you have a situation like this, in fact, in the state of Florida, there were approximately 150 situations like this in the year 2009, the most recent statistics that we have. Anytime you have a situation like this, you have to take the opportunity to better the agency. And I will tell you today, that the Indian River County Sheriff's Office is proud of the men and women that they have. More importantly, or equal, the facility is much hardened than it was.
Safe to say that that trustee responsible for the blade was cooperating in the investigation, hence no charges?
No.
Was this trustee assigned to a work crew where
We-
you had access to?
We have not identified the specific trustee as of yet.
You have not identified a specific one?
Not a specific number. You have to understand, when you have we have inmate labor that takes care of our campus, that takes care of some other grounds within the county from time to time. Those trustees have had specific access to tools doing their jobs. We feel confident that that is how that was introduced. We have changed that philosophy. We've changed that management style on what trustee inmates bring in and bring out of the facility.
Sheriff, what was your message to the employees over here to the jail? What's your message to them?
Well, my message is, I know that we continue to do an outstanding job, and you have 500 inmates at any given time or more that do not want to be there, that are continuously in a confined area with the employees, that are always trying to come up with some creative way, whether it's a distraction or whether it's some other type of manipulation. But my message to the employees is to keep their heads up. This is an outstanding agency. Obviously, it's a black eye, but we will continue to pursue excellence.
Sheriff, what would you say to your political challengers? Obviously, they're probably going to try to make hay of this year.
Well, I will tell you that I'm proud of the men and women at the Sheriff's Office, and that we will continue to strive for excellence. Anything short of that would be political.
One last time, could you describe how this hacksaw was introduced into the jail? I mean, are trustees not checked when they come in and out?
They are. However, as you may know, we've had a lot of projects going on in the last 3 years to improve the jail from the condition that it was in 3 years ago. And it is our feeling that whether it was introduced or perhaps it was procured by some of our maintenance folks that were doing jobs within the jail, at some point the tool accountability, in particular one hacksaw blade, was not where it should have been.
Explain again, a trustee is what type of individual again?
A trustee is a low-risk inmate. Generally speaking, they've been charged or arrested for something as simple as driving while license suspended, failure to pay child support, alimony, that type of thing. They are low risk. In other words, they have no criminal history that shows any type of serious or violent nature. In other words, they're getting out relatively soon. The benefits of being a trustee outweigh, we feel, of any type of malice or any type of escape risk. They're usually what we would call short timers, and they're in a position where they know a set date of when they're getting out. They've already been sentenced.
And how many trustees are there in the county as opposed to how many inmates?
I would say roughly 10%. Our trustee population handles the maintenance of the grounds here, the maintenance within the building, all of the kitchen duties within the jail where they're producing over 1,500 meals a day, as well as all of the laundry responsibilities. So in and of itself, the trustees maintain the facility, and our corrections deputies monitor their actions.
Has the policy toward trustees changed?
Yes, it has. And that's included in your book.
Rondell Reed is where again as of today?
On 12/20, he was transported to Orlando to the transition facility at the Department of Corrections. I'm not sure where he ultimately wound up.